Hi, everyone, and welcome to a Mindful Hour MBSR. I'm Kat Larson. Great to see you here. Thank you so much for coming out to the pre-recorded session today. This class is sponsored by the Cancer Resource Center of Western Maine. You can register complimentary for any of these MBSR classes by going to the Cancer Resource Center of Western Maine website, www.crcofm.org, www.crcofwm.org. Then just click on to virtual classes. You'll be sent a Zoom link. And as soon as I open up that Zoom link, if we're live, then join us live every Thursday from 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So offering you today this pre-recorded session of MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction, how we correspond meditation and mindful movement. Before we get started, gather your favorite beverage to support your 60 minutes, water, coffee, tea. If you'd like to take notes, feel free to grab a journal, a piece of paper as well. And remembering that this is your time in practice. If you're new joining us, welcome to the space. And if you've been here since the beginning, we've been here over 3 years, I'd like to thank you all for being here, for your presence. We usually begin our practice with simply going around, if we were live, with those that are in attendance with a mindful share, pass, or listen, where we get to just check in with each other, say hello. What are we drinking? What's new in our week? Anything that we want to just simply share, where we get an opportunity to practice mindful listening, being part of a community, and also being in connection with each other. Before we get started, I'd like to define what MBSR is. MBSR is mindfulness-based stress reduction, which is a form of meditation. It was founded back in 1979 by Dr. John Kabat-Zinn, and thus there have been thousands, maybe more, maybe millions of practitioners that have become certified to offer meditation tools as a way to de-stress, to come into more balance, both on and off the meditation cushion, to live more mindfully. And mindfulness is defined as coming into the present moment with more focus, more awareness as to what we're doing in our daily lives. How are we doing our things? How are we moving? Are we moving in balance? Are we moving out of balance? Through these practices, we invite a friendly, non-judgmental attitude and opening ourselves up to perhaps new ways of thinking, being, and moving throughout our daily life. Some MBSR practices will include seated meditation, anywhere from 30 seconds to longer, maybe movement practices that could be stretching, qigong, yoga, rolling, bouncing, dance, body scan meditation, breath work, also typical imagery, something that might be pleasing to you, also using nature as forms of imagery, also walking meditation. And these are led and guided practices. And through our classes, if you walk away today with 1 to 3 to 4 different practices that might give you a little bit of awareness, how you can come into balance or a balanced state that'll help to provide balance, calm to your nervous system, as we're all busy in our lives. And if you're living with a cancer diagnosis, I'm a 16-year cancer survivor, and noting that when I get stressed through an office visit, a doctor's visit, I do need to come into a breath work or a form of slowing and quieting down so I can meet each moment in a response instead of a reaction. So today, I hope you'll enjoy the class. We have a little PowerPoint presentation of meditation and movement, and then we'll actually get up off of our chair to a standing position. Everything is optional for you in today's class, so please feel free if you practice seated or in a bed or lying down, offer to what meets you in comfort and safety. Medical advice will always override what I'm leading in practice. So if you're here and you have your favorite beverage, I'm going to just make a toast to everyone. I've got my favorite beverage today, and today I'm drinking a little bit of decaffeinated tea and through one of my favorite mugs. And when I think about movement for me as a yoga teacher as well, I do have a home practice. And some days it can be quieter, less vigorous than other days. But today I feel pretty vigorous. I've been also working out at the gym, adding weights. So I've been feeling strong in my physical well being and also being aware if I do too much that I get depleted in my mind. So honor your energy states as well. So some of the MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction practices that come to mind in my mindful share, pass, or listen are that when I move, I quiet my mind because I quiet on the movements of the physical body. So perhaps for you, in the way that we move our hands today, the way that we move our breath, how we stretch our arms, how we stretch our leg and our foot, bring into what meets you safely and release any held tension in physical body, which may help to correspond releasing tension in physical body, which helps to open up space for both freedom in physical movement, also within the mind, and also perhaps lift energy if you're needing that as well. So, as we begin our practice today, we'll take an acronym taken from the word stop, where we take a mindful moment, a mindful seated meditation, and it's welcome to either meditate lying down, seated, or standing, whatever is comfortable for you. And simply to, if you're seated, press your feet down into the earth, press your buttocks into the chair, roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and shift the head from side to side. So, right in this moment, we're moving into 6 movements of the spine from a chair, where as we're moving our spine and our head, this is called side bending lateral flexion. Take a breath in, inhale and exhale. With the acronym STOP, S, simply notice your structure. T, take another breath in, inhale and exhale. O, observe to what you need next. And that could be a stretch of the arms, and we'll inhale. And on the exhale, bring the hands to the heart. As we begin our time together, our hands are joining to touch, lifting the elbows to activate, energize the biceps and triceps. If the shoulders rolled higher, release the shoulders down. And we'll take a breath in together, an inhale, and then we'll exhale the sound, the word peace, to begin our time in practice today. Inhale. Peace. Lifting the eye gaze and opening the hands and just displaying the hands out in receptivity, perhaps to movement today. And where do you need either extra energy today from our awareness MBSR practice? Is it for physical body, breath body, energy, heart space, or mind? And imagine that as you're opening up your hands and receptivity, here we are meeting in community, connection, like minded individuals, moving on the path of well being. And note your intention. If one word comes to mind, it could be well being, presence, stability, sustenance. strength, family, love, whatever comes to mind, place it in the center of your hand in this midwinter welcoming. And this is called your intention that you're bringing to your time today in practice. Seal your intention, rub the hands together, creating a little bit of heat. And then as we open our arms out to the side, lift them up overhead on the inhale, and then turn the palms down on the exhale. Turn the palms up again. These are called sun breaths. Inhale, lift, stretching the shoulders and the arms. These can also be done in bed. Exhale, lower the arms down. Maybe this time crossing one arm in front, one arm up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Cross one arm in front, 3 more. Inhale, lift. Maybe lift the chin and the eye gaze. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. As you come back, lowering the hands, palms up, we'll be moving into a brief PowerPoint and then right into our movement practice. So here I'm going to share the screen, making sure I have that PowerPoint available to you. Here we are. And then the slideshow, meditation and movement today. So just giving a little bit of awareness that movement is a mindfulness-based stress reduction practice where we give awareness to the physical body. When we bring our focus, our attention to the body, it can perhaps give us that sense of ease, quieting our mind because we're focusing on the movement. We can also bring awareness into the breath body, how the inhale moves through the body in and up to lengthen, expand, provide flexibility and openness in the body. And then as we exhale, the sensation of breath moves out, releasing held tension, also lowering the breath out all the way to the feet to root and ground. So today in our movement practice, we also bring awareness into the concept of what is called interoception. And what is that? That's also the state of being aware of what our internal state of the body is. Are we conscious of either, yes, if we feel physical pain, we are conscious of that, but also noting what do the signals of our body tell us to do. Maybe today opening up to a new idea that with a breath in, we can bring freedom, lightness of being, joy within the physical body, just through that concept. And we can also send out on the out breath a little bit of groundedness, release on held tension. So we're connecting to if the body feels stuck, how can we, as we stretch the arms, uplift? Notice, does this lift our state of being? Does this give more energy into our body? What are we telling our internal body to do? As we breathe in from a physical perspective, as we breathe in, the diaphragm moves down in the body, which is a muscle. So it's working and strengthening our diaphragm. But as the diaphragm moves down, we open up the chest cavity to receive more breath, more oxygen, more life force. So as we move, we begin to notice the internal states of being stuck or unstuck. And through movement itself, we promote openness, maybe new ways of moving, being. And if the body is not in a state where it can move due to being in treatment or fatigue, perhaps simply moving our hands, rolling the fingers around in openness, stretching the arms open, which can also demonstrate the arm stretching. So if I'm demonstrating the arms and you're lying down or seated, simply stretch the fingers on the inhale, exhale, lower and close, or lifting the eyes up, lowering the eyes down to replicate that lifting up, that widening, that opening of space, and then exhale, lowering and releasing. Our next concept that we have here on our screen is proprioception. It's like our sixth sense. This also brings awareness to our gait, our distance, our stability and steadiness. So as we're moving our gait and our steadiness, are we noticing in our perceptions here of what is proprioception? When we say we want to move forward, what is our brain telling our body to do? We want to move forward, but now what is our body able to do in movement, action, and location? Do we need to make a shorter stance, a shorter step, a wider step, a wider step? Do we, whatever's happening in our body, do we need an assist tool? Do we need to hold on to something? Do we need to look down? Where is our body in space? So the awareness and proprioception, and this is very predominant in balance. If you're working with a cancer diagnosis or if you're on medication, if you're experiencing side effects of vertigo, in our practice, do we have to stay seated? Do we have to hold on? Is if we're working on restriction of the body due to surgery, is there scar tissue? Maybe we're saying we want to open up our arm and our hand fully, but maybe it opens up only an inch, maybe half height or a quarter. What is our body telling us to do, and what can we actually do within our body reaching in space? So again, being aware as well, when we bring awareness to meditation and movement, that sometimes the emotional body might get stored within. We call this issues within our tissues, and having no judgment. If we have more flexibility on one side of the body, it's just an aha moment. Okay, so I need to strengthen the left side of my body. I need to strengthen the right side of the body. Do I always step forward with the right foot leading first? How can I maybe walk with a left foot forward? When I'm invited to place a hand flat on my heart space, do I always put the same hand? This brings us awareness to front of the body, closing. Do I stand with rounded shoulders, or maybe I can lift the shoulders up, back, and down, and simply by lifting the sternum, shoulders back, I get a more awareness of a long, tall spine. So in meditation and movement, it brings us awareness of our held patterns, our held ways of either our imprints, our patterns of what we've been taught, what we've been is being held in the body, and how can we unpattern, how can we welcome, invite new ways of being. And in MBSR, we invite the concept of beginner's mind. Anytime we come to a class, whether it be online or in person, it's a new opportunity, new information, new day, new moment to experience this, your body, as to how it feels today without judgment. So we bring our awareness inside of our internal sensations and feelings of proprioception with the external, the actual movement. And then what is our brain telling us to do? Do we need to be grounded both by utilizing maybe the elements of nature, grounding, finding that stability either through a breath in and exhale out, maybe grounding by being aware of our feet on the floor, the distance between our feet. If we're seated, our buttocks pressing into the chair or the earth. So this brings us awareness to the physical body and proprioception, interoception, front body, back body, physical body, emotional body, and also the welcoming as well. So I'm going to stop that share right now and simply noticing in these 27 minutes of classes a full PowerPoint with a little bit of breath work. And we're going to start with 6 movements of the spine from seated, then we're going to come up to standing. So I invite you from a seated position, if that's accessible, to lift your hands, interlace your hands. Notice which thumb is crossed on top. Change the cross of the thumbs. This here we invite, what is our natural pattern and how can we switch it up to invite that new awareness? Begin to circle the palms. This is a little bit of joint warm up, joint mobility. So movement within MBSR, and I'm also a yoga teacher and therapist. So we want to move in comfort and safety. And again, medical advice will always override what I'm leading, but noticing what meets you in comfort, both in physical body, breath states, and also that meets your mind. So as you're circling your wrist, you can either move slow or fast, and then change directions. So circle in the opposite direction, and notice if that gives you an aha moment. Aha, I'm moving in a different way. And then as you come to stillness, stretch the palms out. Inhale, invite space between the fingers. Exhale, close. So this is called extension of the fingers. This will be a similar action if we were to do cow cat pose. Exhale and round. Inhale, stretch and extend. Exhale, rounding and flexion. Inhale, stretch, open up the fingers. Imagine the physical space, inviting space in physical body, breath body, and then exhale, close. 2 more. Inhale, stretch and open. Exhale, close. 1 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. So earlier we already did sun breaths. So this time we're going to reach the arms high. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend and close. Inhale, lift, stretch, and then exhale, lower in cactus position. Inhale, extend. We're working our shoulders, building up on energy, and notice if you need to take any modifications. Exhale, bend. 3 more. Inhale, reach, called extended arm reach. Exhale, lower and bend the angle of the arms. We're also moving lymph in the armpit chest. Inhale, lift, and your choice if you want to exhale, close, making fists as you close or not. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Feel the energy. It feels amazing to open and move. And then exhale, lower. As you release the hands flat down onto the palms, we're going to move into cat-cow pose. I'm going to move the chair back. So noticing where my hands are, resting up on my lap as well, pressing my hands into the earth, moving into a cat-cow pose. Inhale, press your hands into the lap, lift and extend the spine up, look up on the inhale. Exhale, draw chin to chest, round the spine. Inhale, stretch, shoulders back, look up, called extension of the spine. Exhale, draw chin to chest, flex back and round. To get a little bit more space to lengthen in the rounding, move away from the back of the chair. 3 more. Inhale, lift, lift, press into the floor, plus seat into the chair. Look up in cow pose. Exhale, flex back and round, navel to spine. 2 more. This can be done in bed, lying down as well, lifting eye gaze, chin down. Exhale, flex back and round. Last one. Inhale, stretch, lengthen, shoulders back, broaden collarbones. Exhale, flex back and round. Feel the hollowing out of the back body. As you come back to a neutral tall spine, this is your long spine, all the way from sit bones to your shoulders. So how you get length, either press the feet into the earth, the buttocks, and lengthen up for the crown of the head. If you're lying down and arms are by the side of the body, press the palms down into your bed or couch and imagine you're getting tall all the way from the feet and feeling the lengthening up from a bed position. Here we go. Seated twists, the rotation plane of the spine. Walk your hands over to the right thigh. press your hands into the grounding point. Inhale, exhale, turn your gaze behind you to get more length of the spine. Lift the chin, lift the eye gaze. And then exhale, bring the gaze back to center. Other side, walk the hands over to the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn and twist. So look any amount behind the shoulder, the back shoulder. You're maintaining your length from feet to seat to crown of head. 2 more breaths, seated twist. Inhale. Exhale, turn and twist. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, turn and twist. As you come back to the center line, simply invite the hands to rest, but circle forward, taking a breath in. Exhale back. These are called spinal undulations that give a little bit of release on the spine, but change directions of your circling of the spine. Inhale forward. Exhale back. 1 more. Inhale forward and exhale back. As you return to a neutral spine, lateral flexion, side bending, releasing the hands out to the side, stretch the right arm up. And this in itself is a side bend if you lower the torso to opposite direction than the extended arm. If you want to add on, turn the palm up on the right hand, lift that top arm high, and then side bend to your left. If you'd like another variation, turn the gaze up to lengthen. Take 3 breaths. 2 and 1. Bring the torso upright, lower the right hand down, second side. Inhale. On the exhale, stretch the left arm out to the side, lower the torso to the right. You can also add more by turning that palm up. Inhale, lift, and then side bend. Your choice to keep the gaze down, forward, or up. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. And 1. Return upright again. Let's add some movement. Extend the right arm out to the side. Inhale, lift that arm high, or simply stretch it out. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift opposite side. Note the meditation and movement. You're being aware of physical sensations, coordination of breath and movement, and you're quieting busy mind because you're focused on the movement actions. Inhale, lift and fold. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. As you sweep the arm down, you're lowering down. 1 more side. Inhale, exhale, fold. Maybe this is your variation, or turning palm up, leaning to the side for 3 breaths. 2 and 1. Second side, bring the torso upright. Inhale, exhale, either turning the palm up and stretching like this with 3 breaths, or like this. Taking 3 breaths. 2 breaths. And 1. Exhale, release the hand down. Nicely done, everyone. So we moved in 6 movements of the spine, which is extension and flexion, cow-cat pose, lateral flexion, side to side bending, and also turning and twisting the rotation plane of the spine. So we've done that on left and right side, which correspond to 6 movements of the spine. So let's come up to standing. I'm hoping through this recording, as I transition to standing, you'll all be able to hear me okay. And notice how you feel after about 35 minutes of practice, focusing on meditation and movement. As you come to standing position, draw your feet to step them close together. Stretch the arms up overhead in sun breaths, and then float them out to the side. Cross one arm in front, but bend your legs, slight bounce up on the inhale. Exhale, lower arms, cross one arm in front. Bend into the legs. Inhale, lift the arms, sun breath. Exhale, lower. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Feel the energy. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. So as we're lowering the arms, we're crossing opposite arm in front. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Release the hands by the side of the body and bring your hands to your hips. Bend your legs. Step your feet apart. Turn the toes out slightly. Relax the arms down as we come into a little bit of bouncing. So as we're bouncing, we're bending our legs. We're shifting over to left side and right side. If you stay on one side, we bring that awareness to internal feelings. As we're standing and shaking, are you feeling a sensation within the body? Do you feel some lightness, some strength coming? Are you noticing any uncomfortable positioning? Pain is not good. Sensation is good. It brings us awareness. So as we're shaking and moving, perhaps awareness of when we shift over to another side, do we need to strengthen that? Do we need to hold on in our awareness of our proprioception? What is the brain telling the body to move? And do we need to step our foot closer together? So as we're bouncing, we're releasing held tension in the physical body. We'll stay here for a couple more moments, honoring how we're moving, how we're feeling, letting go of tension in shoulders, upper back, middle, lower back, down the spine, down the hips, down the hamstrings, down the glutes. Maybe if you're coming up onto a toe on one side, you're building strength on the standing leg. 20 more seconds honoring. Who feels the energy building? This is called bouncing, often done in trauma-informed yoga classes, as well as we have complete permission to move in a way that feels good for us, taking options, taking variations. So as you're coming back to the center, I invite you to relax the arms and notice the body begin to sway from side to side. As we're swaying from side to side, I invite you to empty coat sleeves. So imagine you're wearing an oversized trench coats, and now the invisible sleeves will be on our arms. So we're swinging our sleeves from side to side. You can come up onto one toe, bend into one leg. So if you look at the lower part of the screen, you can see my twisting in the upper thighs. So this also invites movement within the physical body from the feet, the legs, the arms. It also lets go of held tension in the spine. We're moving a little bit of lymph here within the body of the actual movement itself. And we'll take this now for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As we come to stillness, open the palms and then step your feet about hip width apart. As you open the palms, we're opening in external rotation of the shoulders. And as you turn your palms down, notice how we're closing in internal. So we want opening, right? We want space in the body. So turn the palms up, roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and feel your physical space as we move to apple picking, lateral extension move. So having fun in movement. As we bring our left hand to the hip, can you reach that right arm high and then bring it down? Imagine inhale, lift, coordinating breath and movement, exhale, lower. So we're stretching in a side bend, inhale, lift, and exhale, lower, but feel the opening of the side body, the obliques. Now we can add on, we can inhale, grab the apple, but throw it back behind. So we're lengthening the arm and strengthening as well, taking 5 more. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower, 4 more. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower, 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift and lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift and then lower. Last one. Lift and lengthen. Feel the side bend, then exhale, lower. As we release both hands down, Turn the palms open and simply take a grounding breath between sides. Inhale and exhale. This position and pose, apple picking, is also a variation of half moon side stretch. So bringing the right hand to the hip. Inhale, lift left arm high and stretch. Exhale, lower and bend. Spread the fingers as you lift, and then exhale, throw the apple back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. You can go as quick or as slow as you want. Don't ever get stuck in anyone else's shape or pose. As we're moving our arm up, moving lymph in the armpit chest as well. 3 more. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Feel the openness of the body, getting rid of stuckness, muscle tension, tightness. Notice even how 5 minutes of movement, if you take 6 movements of the spine to start your day, 5 minutes is better than doing nothing. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then coming back to your mountain pose, turn the palms open. Feel the energy of both broadening the collarbones, the energy from moving the body. Now let's move into some strengthening poses of chair pose. So as you step your feet about hip width apart or narrower, lift the arms up overhead, stretch, turn the palms to face each other, bend into the thighs, buttocks back. So I'm going to turn sideways so you get a peek of chair pose as well. Draw navel to spine. So what's happening? We're reaching up to lengthen the spine, but we're also in a bent-like squat position. We're strengthening calves, quads, glutes. Now lift the chin high, take a breath in, and on the exhale, come up to standing, open the palms. Feel that nice opening. 2 more times, coordinating breath and movement. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend into the thighs, bring the buttocks back. So this is where movement and meditation comes into play. We're focusing on a breath in and a breath out. We're focusing on the movement itself, which quiets mind. Take 1 more breath in, and then exhale, return to the standing mountain pose. Turn the palms open. 1 more time with a different arm variation. Inhale, lift the arms high, stretch, lengthen. Exhale, sink into the thighs. Feel the openness. Notice inside how much freedom this gives you. Freedom in body, freedom in breath, freedom in mind states, and draw the buttocks back as you bend the elbows. This is a second arm variation called cactus or field goal. You can also bring the elbows back and lift the chin. You get more opening in the heart. Who feels their calves? Strengthening pose. 1 more breath. Exhale, return to the standing position. So notice how you feel with palms open, creating that imprint of your open mountain pose, feeling strong, steady, perhaps feeling balanced as well. Thus, moving into some standing poses, then a balanced pose to close. As we bring our hands to the hips, take a breath in. On the exhale, bend your legs, step your feet apart. I'm going to lower the screen a little bit so you can see my leg actions. So I'm focused more in on our leg action within this position. Turn the right foot out, the left foot turns in. Bend into your front leg. And I know you can't see my head, but we're focusing more in on the body. So this is called Warrior 2 position, where you're stretching your arms long. Bend into your front leg and take 3 breaths. 2 breaths. And 1. Bring your hands to your hips and then slide the front hand down your thigh. Stretch the back arm behind you. Now, can you press into the feet and look up? Feel the length of the chest, the openness, And then on the exhale, press into the front hand, bring that back arm behind you as the front arm floats up, palm facing you, to open up in a reversed warrior pose. So the front arm lifts, palm facing, arm back. You're still in a bent leg position. Taking 2 breaths. And 1, release the hands down to the hips, straighten that front leg, turn the feet forward. So I'm going to keep the screen where it is so you can focus on my upper chest, since I demonstrated the leg action with the screen lower. Second side. So turning the left foot out, the right foot turns in. Stretch your arms out in line with the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, bend into your front leg. Warrior 2, look over the front hand. Take 3 breaths. 2 breaths, and 1. Lower the front hand to rest on the top of the front thigh. And then from this position, simply lift that back arm high and then come into a side bend. Maybe you can go lower with the front elbow on the front thigh. And then note this variation of your side bend. Where do you feel this? Note the meditation. Do you feel this on the hips? If you press into the feet, can you feel the length of the spine? With the upper arm lifted, can you feel the openness of the side chest? And as we take the top arm behind us, the front arm stretches forward, palm up, and it lifts up in a reversed warrior action. This may challenge balance. Notice if you need to hold on to a table, a wall, or a chair. When your distance between your feet are closer together, that provides more steadiness and stability. When they're wider apart, it challenges balance. To come out of the pose, straighten your front leg, bring your hands to the hips, and then turn the feet forward, bend your legs, step your feet to meet. Tree pose balance. So I'm going to turn the screen down so you can see my feet as well within this action. As you stand with your feet close together, we'll simply bring our hands to the hips, press your feet into the floor and ground through the left foot, and rest your right heel right to the inside of the left leg. That pose that we're in right now begins with the feet. So as you simply ground into the standing foot, we're going to lift the arms high towards the ceiling and lower them through the heart. Notice this begins our balancing pose. You're standing and balancing, bringing awareness to the concept again of proprioception. When we tell our leg to turn out, when we balance on one leg, do we need to hold on? Do we need to practice this more on left or right side? Now, as you stretch the arms out to the side, notice if arms out to the side provide you more balance, or do you feel better inside those internal feelings of interoception? What is our body telling us to do within the shape of the pose? And then as we find our shape that provides us steadiness, we'll take 5 breaths. This is meditation and movement from tree pose, relaxing the face and jaw, finding the ease within the shape of the pose, breathing in and out. And release. As we lower the arms by the side of the body, pedal your feet, bending left to right for your count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and second side from this position. So standing with legs together, arms are resting by the side of the body. Press the right foot down into the floor, hands come to the hips. Turn the left foot out where the sole of the left foot rests to the inside of the right leg. Stretch the arms out to the side and up, and lower the hands through the heart. So with your left toe resting on the earth, it'll determine whether or not you want to stay here or lift the sole of the left foot to rest on the inside calf of the standing leg or higher. Again, it's your experience and balance. What dictates to you within space what the body needs? Does it need a balance? Does it need the stability of the foot on the earth? Hands at the heart, arms stretch out to the side fully, cactus arms or up for length. 5 breaths. Relax the jaw, relax the eye gaze, and experience your tree pose as a meditation in movement, noticing your breath. Inhale and exhale, a breath in, a breath out. Inhale and exhale, 2 more breaths. In your own time, bring the hands to touch or hands at the hip. Release and turn that left foot down flat to meet the other. Relax the hands by the side of the body. Open the palms in your standing, open-hearted, receptive mountain pose. And notice how you feel after about 25 minutes of a mindful movement practice. As we come back to our seat, if we include the seated practices, a little bit more than that, probably close to 32, 35 minutes. So as we come to almost the close of our class today, notice how the practice of awareness, of interoception, the internal feelings within the body have penetrated us with movement. Also, the concept of proprioception. What is our brain telling our body to do? In walking meditation, when we walk daily, do we give awareness to how we're lifting our foot, shifting forward and placing our foot as well? So as we come to our seated position here in closing of our practice, take a moment to notice your body with 6 movements of the spine, standing practices as well, and note the integration of both meditation and mindful movement. Each movement provides entering the shape, being in the shape itself, and exiting, also offering ourselves modifications and variations. As we're closing today, I invite you in a sweeping guided meditation, a mini body scan. Come to a seated position. If you're in a chair, relax your spine towards the back of the chair. And as you come to either taking a sip of your favorite beverage to receive these final moments, notice how almost an hour of MBSR included with the theme of meditation and mindful movement has met you. Perhaps beginner's mind coming back to those shapes and poses that you've done again and again, or if they're new for you, how did they land for you today? I invite you to rest your hands, palms up on your lap, roll the shoulders up, back and down, take a full breath in and exhale out. In a sweeping meditation, this invites the simple affirmation of the word relax. When I say a body part, I invite you to infuse the word relax. We'll begin with the feet. Find your eye gaze, either a soft gaze with eyes downward position, or the top eyelid meeting the lower eyelid, closing the eyes partially open or fully closed. Relax the jaw, invite a part between your lips, and bring awareness to your feet. Relax the sole of the foot, spread the fingers, relax the top of the foot. Inhale and exhale, draw that life force energy from breath surrounding left foot and right foot, relaxing and letting go of muscle tension held in the feet. On your next breath in, draw your awareness up the body from your feet to the front of the shin, the back of the shin, and imagine if there are any knots held in the shins, the calves, moving up over the knees to the legs, the left leg and the quad, the back of the hamstrings, and spread a full breath in all the way up from the shins over the knees to the tops of the thighs. On the exhale, send the out breath down the backs of the legs. Imagine the hamstrings lengthening, spreading with your out breath, moving down, inviting space all the way down the back of your leg. Now, on the next in breath, imagine breath moving up both soles of the feet, up the legs to the hips. And then begin by spreading breath to the left, the right hip, and then take another breath in. On the exhale, spread any held tension from low back and release down the backs of the hamstrings, all the way down behind the knees to the calves, down through the soles of the feet. On the next breath in, guide your breath in the soles of the feet, up the backs of the legs, up through the low, middle, and upper back, all the way up the back of the spine, relaxing, releasing tension, and then send that out breath all the way down the spine, over the buttocks, down through the hamstrings, down through the earth. And then finally, our last breath in and up, a sweeping meditation, sending full energy up, inhale, feet all the way up through the backs of the legs, the front of the legs, the front of the chest, over the shoulders, up the arms this time, up through the face to the crown of the head, and then exhale completely out from the crown of the head down the face, the shoulders, the front of the chest, the back body, all the way down, relaxing, settling in, and returning to your own natural rhythm of breath as we sit in this silent meditation for 1 minute. You can invite your own in breath, moving from the soles of the feet in and up, all the way up to the crown of the head, and releasing held tension on the out breath. 1 minute of silent rest. With each breath in and out, you're letting go of any muscle tension in physical body, any tension held in mind, inviting more freedom, openness, and noticing on each in breath, you're adding to your energy of upliftment. And on the out breath, you're letting go of anything that's stuck. Final opportunity to let it go here in class. I invite you now to simply begin to lift your eye gaze, maybe lifting the corners of the mouth. You know what that means, an inner and outer smile. And then as you begin to lift your hands, draw your hands to meet in prayer position as we close our meditation and mindful movement class together. Soften the eye gaze once again, and we'll close with one sound out of the word peace out on the exhale, one time to close in community and connection. Breathe in. Peace. We honor each other. Practice of mindfulness, simply lowering to give a bow of thanks to yourself for showing up, and then giving each other in community and connection a thank you to you and you and you. And thank you, dear friends, for joining today in mindfulness-based stress reduction, a mindful hour today with focus on meditation and movement. This is our pre-recorded session today, and I thank you so much for being here. And thank you to the Cancer Resource Center of Western Maine for continuing to host this class. The website for other classes and information is www.crcofwm.org. And giving each other a gesture of either a thumbs up saying, thank you for being here, a thank you or a nod or a heart, or extending out any word. I extend love, gratitude, also healing, lots of lightness and being and fun. I look forward to seeing you again in this class, and thank you and wishing you a glorious rest of your week of thinking of you in friendship, in connection, in all good well-being to you and yours. Peace. See you soon. Thank you again.